Mm. Now, using psychedelics, if somebody say, is this bypassing? I wonder, what do you define as bypassing?
So bypassing would be the tendency to try to move into some kind of idealized state without encountering whatever difficulties or blocks or resistances might be there along the way. So, can psychedelics be used for bypassing? Absolutely, they can. Um,
Mm.
for example, someone is in an abusive relationship, or they were abused or traumatized as a child, and maybe now they're living a life where they're taking it out on other people,
Mm.
and they're suffering as a result of that.
Mm.
And in order to not deal with that reality, it's like, well, I'm just going to take some MDMA and go to the club every weekend because MDMA feels good, I enjoy it, and then for that, 5 or 6 hours, I'm able to forget my troubles in the world, and I'm able to not deal with the pain of the abuse that I've suffered or anything like that, and therefore, this is an escape. And
Mm.
definitely, psychedelics can be used as an escape. There's absolutely no question about that. Um, that's where, if somebody really wants to quote unquote transform and heal, it requires taking a very different approach. And in providing integration calls with people, this is something that comes up all the time with people, where people say, well, when I was younger, I took drugs for fun. I did it for escape, and I really had a good time. I really enjoyed myself. But then as I got older and decided I wanted to heal or change or transform something, my relationship to psychedelics really shifted and changed.
Mhm.
Um, and so that's one area where it actually is, it's very common for people to have that self-perception that, okay, I was trying to escape before. And then, even on the other side of that, there can be using psychedelics as simply a new holding pattern for the ego. So someone says, oh, I'm really working on healing and transforming myself, so I'm going to go drink ayahuasca every weekend. And I'm going to do that from now until the day that I die, because I'm always healing. There's always something to work on. And this is another place where I actually fundamentally disagree, that I am of the position that, look, you actually can liberate yourself from your crap. And once you've done that, you've done it. And you can still go to psychedelics for maintenance or something like that. But once you've really found what you're looking for and really integrated that and embodied that, it's like you're done in a sense. So people can hold on to psychedelics as, oh, this is my never ending healing process. This is my never ending transformative process. And some people even use that as like this spiritual badge to say, whoa, anybody who says they're done or that they've liberated themselves, like that's an egoic statement because you always have to work on yourself. It's like, that's just a belief, actually. That's
Mm.
not true. That's a
Mm.
belief that egos like to share to make them feel humble. Like, oh yeah, I'm always working on myself. Like, okay, so then you're bypassing the fact that maybe you don't need to keep working on yourself. Now, we even see this in other forms of therapy where people get addicted to therapy. People get addicted to attending workshops. People get addicted to information. They get addicted to listening to the next podcast, reading the next book, seeing the next interview, visiting with the next spiritual teacher. There's all kinds of addictions and bypasses that happen out there.
Mm.
And so, yeah, absolutely, psychedelics can be used in that way. Like, even with 5-MeO DMT, people always ask me, well, not always, but people often ask me, how often do you use it? Right? Because I'm really known for 5-MeO DMT. And I tell them, well, at this point in my life, like almost never. And they're like, well, what do you mean? So I only took it like 10 or 12 times during 2008 and 2009 while I was going through my transformation and liberation process. And then when I hit the liberation point, it really didn't matter if I ever took it again or not. And that was like 16, 17 years ago now. Okay? Um, and then some people want to keep taking 5-MeO because, oh, it's so blissful and it's so amazing. And yeah, it is. But if all you're doing is trying to jump into that blissful state and you're not actually integrating and liberating yourself to be here, then you're misusing it. That's,
Mm.
you're just using it as an escape. So yeah, psychedelics can be used as an escape, and that's something that I definitely like to argue against if I
Mm.
do come across somebody who's doing that. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.